I remember one time I was in jail and I was talking from cell to cell. There was a house robbery. A friend of mine had traded a gold medallion. This medallion was worth $16,000. He traded it for $20 worth of PCP. That's what they call angel dust. It was a type of drug. They used it for embalming fluid, and they used it for elephant tranquilizer. But he traded just for $20 worth of that drug. He got this gold medallion, and there was a name engraved on the back of it. And as he started going through the phone book trying to find the name, he found the name. So I went by his house the next day, and I said, "Bird, what you doing?" He said, "Well, I'm going out to Westwood." And he showed me the medallion. He said, "I found the jeweler who this medallion belongs to. And he's going to buy it back from me. He's going to give me $10,000. And as long as I don't tell, because he already collected $16,000 from insurance." And I said, "Man, you're talking to the police. You being deceived." And but like a good friend, I said, "Hey, Bird, I'm gonna go with you, because if you're not deceived, we're gonna have a good time with all that money." Now listen, this is in 1979. 1979, $10,000 it's a good amount of money right now. As a matter of fact, anyone watching, we can use your help for that New York crusade that's coming up. So send that $10,000 in. That will help. But back then, $10,000 would do a lot more. So we go to a restaurant called Ships in Westwood. And I went one way and sat down and ordered an ice cream sundae. And as I was sitting down, my friend Eddie Bird sat on the other side. And at 2 o'clock exactly, right when the man was supposed to come into the restaurant, there was a lot of activity. People were coming in with newspapers, sitting down in the restaurant. And then a man came in a camel sports coat. And he, camel hair sports coat, shook Eddie's hand, and the two of them went to the back of the restaurant and they were seated. Instead of me sitting there and just waiting, I walked to the payphone and picked up the payphone like I was making a call, because I wanted to see. I couldn't believe it. He's going to get $10,000. And all of a sudden, guns came out and badges came out all over the restaurant. And I looked up and a gun was pointed right in my face. A shotgun was pointed at my back with a woman cop screaming, "Get on the ground, drop the phone, get on the ground, get your face on the ground." And I remember falling to the ground saying, "Don't shoot, don't shoot. What's this for?" And I was trying to pretend. But see, what I didn't do when I went to the payphone, I didn't dial. I didn't put any money in. I just kind of picked it up. So they assumed this guy is really with this other guy. And they didn't know if I had a gun. And Eddie Bird and I did not know that this medallion had come from a house robbery where some people who I know would go into Beverly Hills, and they'd hide in the bushes and wait for rich people to come home. And then when they would open their garage and drive in, just as the garage door was closing, they would run in and pull guns on them and take them in the house, make them open the safes and take all their jewelry. So we didn't know that that's where the medallion had come from. And when Ed called this phone number, the jeweler called the police, and so the story goes on. So we're in jail now, and I'm telling him I don't know what's going on. And of course, because we didn't do it. And so we had to stay in jail while they took our pictures and went to ask the people, were any of these men in the house robbery? Well, I was in jail for 2 days that time, but to make a long story just a little longer, while I was there, I started praying to the God of heaven, and somehow I got a Bible, and I started talking about the Sabbath, and started talking about the beauty of the Sabbath, and started talking about God and God's love for us. And even though I was a drug dealer at the time, I got high, I partied, I still longed to give my heart to God. I just didn't know how like I know how today. Another story is I heard a preacher today. I was looking at a service online, and when he made his appeal, one person came down, and in his appeal, he said, "I want you to give your heart to Christ, and I'm glad you've come down, because now that you've come down, I can get you some Bible studies, get you baptized, and get you ready to be saved." If it takes all that to be saved, the average person is going to hell. Thief on the cross would be lost. Can you imagine what would have happened if the demoniac man ran out the mountain and Jesus put his hand up and said, "Tell me, what is your name? We are legion." And then Jesus said, wait a minute, I better give you some Bible studies. I better baptize you. I better do it so you can be saved. We need power to place Christ in the heart of man, where his character is transformed. So if he never gets to a Bible study, if he never gets to a baptismal pool, the power of the saving Christ will overwhelm, transform, and secure his salvation right now. Now unto him that is able to keep us from falling. Now is the accepted time. Brothers and sisters, Jesus is a now God. And I'm in jail, and I'm talking to a famous model. At that time, they had this thing called Worlds of Curls, because everybody was getting these Jerry curls and stuff. And the model was in jail next to me. I'm witnessing to him. He cries, gives me his name. I'm witnessing to all these different people. Then all of a sudden, 2 days later, they call my name to release me from this little substation in Westwood. And on my way out, this is what the jailer said. He said, there was a presence in this jail that was different than any of us have ever experienced. Even those upstairs said something feels peaceful, something different. And he said, are you a minister? Are you called to ministry? I feel like giving my heart to Christ. This is what the jailer who was letting me out told me this day. And I didn't know how to say, well, let's pray. I just said, well, you know, I do love God. And I remember that jailer looking at me saying, come back. I looked at him and said, man, I ain't coming back in here. You got to be kidding. But again, that was the gift of evangelism. That was a gift that God has given me. I meet people all the time, but you can, and I'm going to wind this down with this, because somebody, you asked the question, where did evangelism come from? How did I choose it? No, I didn't choose it. God in his infinite love gave it to me, but God has given you something.